become or to do or to be. I'm really happy enough as you are in the right way to be and to do. I do not want you for anything other than this. You really have your own vows, directions, sprouts, to sprout and discover by yourselves. This is the meaning, origin of the Dharma diversity in you and us. Each one of us has the life responsibility in our depths as our own original nature. So I wish you discover your own deepest vow, responsibility by yourselves in your sitting position. I was very lucky to share many doksan with my master, many often by letter. And there is no word that needs to be inserted between you and me. Hogen son, I pray that I will honor and bow to that inseparable, precious connection that we had. You transmitted Dharma treasure to us and to me. I pray that I won't obscure and taint it with my own egocentric tendencies. I vow always to be your devoted student. These tears of deep sadness, they're shiny and bright with eternal gratitude that I could meet you in this life. Once, we together did a handstand or sunrise speech. I look forward to the time we could do a formless handstand together, embracing the galaxies and the cosmoses and the universes and black holes that you loved so much.
Thank you, Genjo. I'm not talking. Some time ago, maybe 2007, 8, I had a little incident and I talked to Hogen-san, but there was something always not resolved for me. Something was never resolved. And I had this big question. And I went to Doka-san one day really to ask Hogen-san, how could I address this question? And in my asking this question, he took my words, he turned them around in some way that I still don't understand. But he asked my question back to me. And in doing so, the answer to my question just arose. And I looked in this Doka-san room and I saw this small Japanese man who was much. And I knew right there that this person was the real deal. This was the real thing. And I felt so small being in front of him. And it seemed like he was filled with all of the ancestors, all embodied in this one small body. And I just felt so privileged to be allowed to be before him, really. And I never ever questioned after that this person, not that I questioned it beforehand, but there was really no question afterwards that this person was a great master. And if you've ever sat in the Dokusan room with Hogen-san and had him stare deeply into your eyes, then this thing we call time would just evaporate, and all would be left would be just Hogen-san's just this, just now, just filling the whole room and then the whole universe. So I should salute to Daido Hogen, but I won't salute. And I certainly won't say thank you, because the thank you was something he never, ever wanted. So I could offer a deep bow, but maybe that's too formal. The informal Hogen-san was just to gently but so strongly put his arms around you and allow you to do the same. So this gentle, deep hug is what I offer to Hogen-san. I've got a little poem. Inhale, exhale, forward, back, living, dying. Arrows let flown, each to each, meet midway and slice the book in aimless flight. Thus, return to the source.
May, wherever you are, where is May? Thank you. You have a message from Doko. Please. No, you just hold it close to me.
Doko-san wishes to send his best heart to everyone here. He is very sorry he's unable to be here in person. He'd like to share these words in tribute to Hogen-san. All the beings realize the Buddha way. May we be together emancipate from our thoughts about may all beings be well, happy and safe. Dear Hogen, you are now limitless life.
Who was that man that we call Hogen-san? Was he just a rock thief, an Ishidoro, traveling around the world in search of new beaches to plunder? He taught us Zen, and Buddhism wasn't a Zenist or a Buddhist. He didn't belong to any ism. He enriched the English language that was insufficient to convey what he wanted to describe, compound terms like cosmic eco-symphony. He launched the pronoun revolution decades before anyone else. The compound I, we, us is the general Swiss Army knife of pronouns that embraces everything, completely undifferentiated. We remember his family, what they did without, while we benefited from his presence. So who was this man? He was the voice of truth, calling us home. There is one tribute that was sent in, which I will read now, from Peter Thompson, Joshua. A letter of tribute to my friend and teacher, Hogen Daido Yamahata, Hogen-san. Dear Hogen-san, just now, driving my car, all of my thoughts suddenly dissolved. Just the shining sun off the car in front of me. Just this. This was the heart of all your pointing and teaching. Just this. No mind free from every thought in this now, in capital letters. From the moment I met you in that restaurant in Melbourne in 1986, my whole life changed. From that moment, I could see immediately that you fully embodied your teaching. You were your teaching. You became my friend and teacher immediately. I attended about 9 of your sessions over many years and in 3 states, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. And you stayed with myself and my family on 2 occasions, meeting my mother, partner and baby daughter. You loved calling her by her third name, Karuna. You were generosity and kindness itself, personified on every occasion, and you will always dwell deeply in my soul. You gave me the Dharma name Joshu, along with your own personal large black rakusu, once worn by you in the Rinzai temple. How can one ever repay such an honor, such a debt? In 1988, I visited at your temple, Chogeji. What a joy. I went on to meet your beloved Tange at this temple in 1990. Your teaching was a prized gem in the field of Dharma. It changed many lives immediately and forever. You were the embodiment of Dyorkan, who you loved so dearly. Valet and farewell for your beloved physical form, friend and teacher, heart to heart. We are never separate. Your radical teaching of now revolutionized our lives and revealed our true no mind, original face, before our grandparents were born. Love, Joshua. So now, can I have a show of hands for people that wish to speak, please? Because there has to be some maths, some mathematics done. How many, please? Just put your hands up so I can see, please. It's a bit dark one. Not so much. Okay, all right. In that case, we have no time difficulties at all. So I'll start with the person nearest to me, please.
I'm going to tell a story of what it was like to be around Hogen-san, first of all, for those who never met him. Can you hear me without the gun? Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, right, yeah. When I was much younger, I went to his room one day and I knocked on his door, and he was asking me to read a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh at the time, Thich Nhat Hanh books. And I went into his room and I said, "Oh, Hogen-san, you never talk about the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path. And how come you never talk about Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path?" He went, Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path. Yes, yeah, I never talk about those, do I? Go, no, you never mention them. And he goes, okay, tonight in the Dharma talk, I will talk about Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path. So I was pretty chuffed, and I went back to the Zendo and practiced for the whole day. And then I'm thinking, it's going to be great. He's going to talk about Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path. I've never heard my teacher discuss these fundamental Buddhist teachings. And so I'm in the Zendo and in the rows, and he walks in to give the Dharma talk, and he says, one of my students has asked me to talk about Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path. And I was like, By this stage, I'm pretty chuffed. And then he goes to the room, Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path are this. Just this. And then he went on to talk about this, as he did every night, and he never mentioned the Four Noble Truths of the Eightfold Path ever again, which for me was perfect in that moment, because I was obviously build more concepts, even though he was asking me to study them, but he shattered that. And then sometimes he would give us a few articles to what he said, check and correct. So he would give us articles to read to try to, in a way, translate, but even though they were in English, because he was using multiple words for every word, it was almost unreadable. In the end, it got worse and worse. So in one of his last letters to me, he put in an article that he asked me to check. And I've just taken a small piece of it because it's one of the later things that he wrote. So I'm going to try to share it. The meaning of being a monk or a bodhisattva. Whatever we do, we usually want to understand the meaning of it, don't we? Even to move one finger, one step, one thought, we usually don't do it without a purpose or a reason. But now what I see is a deeper meaning of life than the reasons we usually have. To be ourselves, this is already beyond countless reasons. We don't need to hold an intellectual question and answer about being a monk or a bodhisattva. There is no textbook answer for this encounter. Everyone is infinitely, unknowably, and uniquely an irreplaceable cosmos. Inevitably, we are the disciples of the infinite universe. A soul-to-soul transmission is being developed in this encounter to serve, to offer myself, to offer ourselves to all beings. This is inevitable in being a monk and a bodhisattva. This is the answer to being the whole oneness of the cosmos self, Buddha. In the real ultimate sense, we cannot fully understand what we are, can we? We do not know, we do not understand why we live, but we live. And we do not know why we are here on this planet, but we are thus. Why do we ask such a question? We do not know the reason in ourselves. To be a monk or a human being, we cannot know why. Ultimately, there is no reason to live and die, to come and go, to do or not do, because just one reality of the whole unknown cosmos is this already. Where are we going? Here now, nowhere. It is already this beyond thousands of reasons. We can put many reasons for one reality, but they are rubbish after all. As our knowledge and experience are so limited, there are always countless questions and impossible answers for us all. And in the midst of this endless unknown darkness, this life encounter is possible. It is already so straight and direct, something beyond questions and answers. It is the direct transmission of us all. Gate, Gate, Bodhisattva. Bow to my teacher.